your preparations have been going well.
Right.
Up to this point, you do still have time, but we want to know, because we're keeping our eyes on the tropics.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins here with Alex Forbes. It's kind of a gloomy start to the Saturday.
Yeah. Depends on who you ask, right? Yeah. We're looking at some low cloud cover in a couple of spots like you just saw there over Atlanta. Meanwhile, if you're down in South Fulton, Coweta County, you're going, what are you talking about? It's bright and sunny outside. So let's start off with the satellite, and I'll show you the high-resolution visible satellite. You can see that it is rather patchy, right? Not a whole lot of cloud cover in Bartow County or in Carroll County, but you find your way right over downtown or North Fulton or South Forsyth, East Cobb, you are getting that cloud cover right now. Expect that to stick around for the next couple of hours on and off across the area. So let's take a look at some of our current temperatures across the region. Things are already warming up, 78 in Atlanta, 77 over in Covington. How about this in Eatonton, 84. Now, when you factor in the humidity in Eatonton already, 97 at 10 o'clock in the morning is the heat index. 86 in Gainesville, 72 in Blairsville. Catch me on a road trip up to Union County later this afternoon. 75 in Rome and 75 in Carrollton. It's also not quiet, right? We're not looking at anything in the metro area, but up in northwest Georgia, you have some storms. It's raining now in Dade County. A storm moving into Chattanooga, but Dade, Walker, Catoosa, Whitfield, Murray, maybe parts of Fannin and Gilmer are going to be clipped by this here over the next couple of hours. So if you're thinking about heading out to the pool today, we will have that chance of rain, 30 to 40% temperatures. They're going to get into the 90s, the low 90s, maybe even mid 90s in a couple of spots, but it's going to feel warmer than that through the afternoon. 100 by 3 o'clock, 102 by 4 and 5 o'clock. Those numbers are specifically for Atlanta. If you are south and southeast of the city, you're looking at numbers hotter than that. Now, the city itself, we're going to be looking at numbers hotter than that by the time we start the new work week. 103 for Monday, 102 for Tuesday. Yeah, it's certainly going to be warm. As for now, the rain chances stand as this, 40% today, 30% tomorrow, but they will be going up. We will get up to a 60% chance of rain by the time we get to Tuesday. So breaking down today hour by hour, there we are this morning into the afternoon, scattered showers and storms. You know how it goes here in the summertime. I think generally speaking, the better chance of rain today is north of Interstate 20, but then for tomorrow, it's just like a free-for-all here. You see, it's literally like popcorn storms, like we like to call them. The physics behind it are literally like boiling water. It's where do you get the bubbles to boil up, and that's going to be your afternoon storm threat. Okay, so you add it all up, you get this. Your Fox 5 Storm Team 7-day forecast here. See that best chance of rain is there on Tuesday. A better chance of staying dry than not today, tomorrow, Monday. And then as we find our way towards the back half of the week, it's still going to be hot, but the rain chance is not quite as high.
Oh, I'm just hot looking at that. Is it officially the dog days of summer, as they say?
I think so. You know, last year, somebody told me where that came from, that phrase, the dog days of summer, and for the life of me right now, I cannot remember what it is.
All right, we'll go look it up and check back in with us.
I'll report back.
All right, thanks so much, Alex Forbes. Turning now, we are following a story in Tucker where a hotel is now settling after a lawsuit related to sex trafficking. We want to go to our Lindsay Tuman now live. Lindsay, good morning.
Good morning to you, Elizabeth. And this is actually the second one of these cases that we've shared in the last week. The first one happened last week when a federal jury awarded a survivor of child sex trafficking $40 million. The same attorney represented both of these cases, and he says that decision actually helped make this $6 million settlement for another victim of child sex trafficking, this one with a hotel in Tucker. Now, the hotel name has changed over the course of the years. This did happen back in 2015. But the hotel owners are the same. Now, this all is surrounding the case of Deshandra Hill. She was just 15 years old at the time. She says she was in a very vulnerable situation when she was sex trafficked by a family member over the course of several days at that Tucker hotel. At the time, it was a Super 8, but again, the name has changed since then. The owners, though, Tucker Inn Incorporated. Ultimately, this was all shut down when DeKalb County police had a sting operation at that hotel and found 15-year-old Hill. She says the hotel should have stopped what was happening beforehand. She says it was obvious what was happening, and that's why she's been working with an attorney to hold the hotel accountable.
It's a business model for the trafficker
because he's selling basically the child for sex to make money. It's a business model for the hotel because they're making room rentals, and that's what it is. I mean, it's sad, but it's a business to those people. And if they're going to allow that to happen, you know, it's just, and that's why I think we've seen the explosion over the past decade, because it's now so easy for a buyer to go on the internet, find a person they're going to buy, drive off the interstate, pull into a hotel. If the hotel owner's turning a blind eye, then there's no kind of stopping it. The police can't be private security for every single business.
And again, it was DeKalb County Police that ultimately had that sting operation helping Hill. Now, one thing that she really wanted in this case was to make sure that this was not going to be a disclosed settlement. She wanted it to be public so that she would be able to talk about it, share her story, and let it reach other people, especially other survivors who might be in the same situation that she had found herself in. It's actually so important to her because she says part of her plans for this money, this $6 million settlement, is to help open a shelter for women who are survivors of sex trafficking. So definitely something that she wants to continue to work on. Now, as far as the owners go of that hotel, we did reach out to them for comment. They declined to comment on the case or the settlement, but of course, if that changes, we'll let you know. For now, that's the very latest live in DeKalb County. I'm Lindsay Tuman. Elizabeth, back to you.
All right, Lindsay Tuman, thanks so much. We'll check back in just a bit. All right, turning now, we want to get you caught up on some of your latest headlines. Folks in LA, they are praying for those victims. 3 deputies killed after an explosion. The LA County Sheriff's Department facility in East Los Angeles. This 3 LA County deputies with an arson explosive detail team were confirmed dead. Investigators are working to determine if the explosives found at a Santa Monica apartment earlier in the week were tied to that explosion. And President Donald Trump says he has directed Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval on sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. This follows weeks of controversy over the release of those records. And MARTA CEO Collie Greenwood has stepped down due to immigration and personal matters. The board announced this on Thursday. Greenwood, originally from Canada, joined MARTA in 2019 and became CEO in 2022. Rhonda Allen, the agency's chief customer experience officer, has been named as the interim CEO. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more news and weather. And welcome back. Hope you're having a great Saturday morning, taking a live look at downtown Atlanta. Oh, it's a cloudy start in some parts, but it's also hot. You know what also is happening around Atlanta today? A lot of back to school opportunities. I hate to say it. I feel like I'm saying a bad word because I remember being in school and not wanting to go back to school during the summer. I hated that hearing that at the end of the summer. We want to go to our Caitlin Pratt. She's joining us now live. Caitlin, did you hate it too when they started talking about back to school?
I'm so sorry, it's so loud here. I couldn't hear your question, and I want to show you what's happening here, and I also want to have the sheriff here in Fulton County talk about this annual event, this fourth annual event, and why it is so important for the community each and every year. Sheriff Pat Labatt, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. What a great event. Absolutely fantastic.
What kind of difference does this make for so many families?
When we have so many kids in need, so many families in need, an opportunity, we're giving away almost 1,200 book bags plus school supplies. Just a wonderful opportunity for us to bridge the gap between law enforcement and our community.
And you say bridge the gap. That's vital, right? For to start young, have young kids realize that you're a helper here.
That's our goal. We want our first interactions with kids and their first interaction with law enforcement to be a positive one. And so this is a start. So this is our fourth annual, and we've grown and grown. Our corporate partners have stepped in to help fill in the gap.
Your message to these kiddos as they get ready to head off to class and their parents for a safe school year.
Absolutely. Hey, first and foremost, listen to your parents, right? Let's study. Let's be prepared day one, and that's what this is about.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sheriff. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I'm going to go ahead and, Elizabeth, show you a couple of the things that are happening over here. The sheriff mentioned the vendors. I've been walking around. The event just began. Started off with a bang with members of the local high school band performing. And you see, he mentioned vendorship partners. There's Kroger right here. And then, of course, the City of Atlanta, Department of Transportation. That'll help kids out with their bus schedules, getting ready for things like that. And let's talk about supplies, because each and every year it feels like it gets more and more expensive to cross those things off the list, right? So to help that, we have the folks from the Sheriff's Department in Fulton County. They've been unpacking all these boxes all morning filled with book bags for those heading to school in just a few weeks now. You heard the sheriff, about 1,300 families expected here in all. And you can register once you get to the event earlier today. Good job, ladies. And this isn't the only kind of supply that's available. We've always talked about nourishment and just the absence of stability as far as food is concerned, insecurity, things of that nature. Fulton County, Fulton Fresh, trying to make sure these kids and these families are fed with vegetables and fruits. And I'm going to leave you with just a listen.
I love it. Caitlin Pratt reporting back to school. I don't know if she could hear me now, but like I said, it almost felt like saying a bad word when I was in school during the summer. It's like, I don't want to hear back to school. All right, we'll check back in just a bit. After the break, we are going to go to our Eli Jordan. He always gets the best assignments. He's skeet shooting this weekend. We'll take you there right after this break. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. We're streaming live from 10 until noon today. We're so glad that you are here. We want to go to our Eli Jordan. He always gets the best assignments. Eli is in Southwest Atlanta where they are learning to shoot skeet. I have never shot skeet, so I'm definitely here to learn. Eli.
Hey, good morning, Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm at the Tom Lowe shooting range, skeet and trap range, and we're in South Fulton, and I am with the operator, Luke Deshotel, and he's going to give us a little demo real quick. Go for it, Luke. Show us what you do.
Boo! Boo!
Awesome. Now that was some skeet. That's what happens out here, correct?
Yep, correct.
So is that called a certain
this is a
game
double from Station 7.
double from Station 7? So tell me, Luke, how long have you been skeet shooting?
Since 1978.
And you've won a world championship or
4
two?
world championships.
4 world championships. And your son Houston,
He's 26 and he's won 6 world championships.
6 world championships. And he's trying for another one right now, right?
Well, he'll be doing that in September and October.
Cool. And so you guys out here at the Tom Lowe shooting range, you guys are like putting on clinics, correct?
Correct.
And so tell me, this is kind of a new thing, the clinics, right?
Yes, we had them for years and we stopped doing for a while and we just started them up again. We limited them to 10 people per clinic, and we're trying to do it every Saturday, provided we can get the instructors on the schedule.
So tell me, what happens if you come out here and me and some buddies want to come out here and we want to, blast a few things?
You just come in, say, I've never done this before, always wanted to, and we'll sell you, rent you everything you have, or you can bring your own stuff out, except for the targets, of course.
And so, I mean, you just shoot clay pigeons, right?
Yep, and we have range safety officers for the beginners, and a lot of the competitive shooters will let them have their own skeet field so they can practice on their own.
So tell me, how hard is it to hit one of those clay pigeons?
It can get pretty frustrating at times.
Yeah, I was out here maybe a couple years ago, and I think I hit 2 out of how many rounds do you get? Whatever.
It's 25 per round.
Yeah, I think I hit 2 out of 50, and so yeah, it's pretty rough. But I was shooting a gun that was not familiar. So you guys provide the guns and everything, right?
Correct. They're Berettas. This happens to be my own personal. It's a Krieghoff made in Germany.
Awesome. And then so you got these clinics going on. If somebody wanted to find out when they can come out here, maybe check on some clinics happening, where can they go? What's your website?
They go to atlantaskeetshooting.com, and we list the dates and the times.
And how much would you expect?
They're $34.95 per person, and that's everything you need to shoot 25 targets. It's the gun, the eye and ear protection, the shotgun shells, and the targets.
Wow, that's not too bad. And so how many people? I mean, can it be just 2 people or 10 people?
Up to 10. A lot of times we're having couples come out, or father and son.
Cool. And then, so right here, we got the trap. The pigeons are coming out of this hole right here, correct?
Correct.
And this little square hole. So it's really neat. They fly. How fast do they fly out?
Oh, about 46 miles an hour.
Wow. So this is considered the low one, and the other one over there.
That's the high house.
Right up over there. Okay, that's the high house. And this middle is the trap.
Trap bunker. It's a different.
It goes straight out. Right. So, I guess what's it like? When somebody hits their first clay pigeon, what kind of excitement is that?
Oh, it's a blast. It's like a real life video game. They always have a smile. A lot of times they don't see the first one because they're blinking their eyes when they pull the trigger, and then they turn and ask if they hit it and say, yeah, open your eyes.
And so is this where the Olympics were held?
That was across the street. They built a brand new facility for that. It's now the Wolf Creek Amphitheater.
Gotcha. And so also, too, I think celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain has been out here before when he was on the layover when he came to Atlanta. And I guess you got to meet Anthony Bourdain as well.
Oh, yeah. He spent about 2 hours out here. We've had a lot of celebrities out here.
And so what do people get out of these clinics that you guys put on? What do you guys teach them?
It's basically an introduction to what we do here. A lot of people want to do it, but they feel nervous about it since they've never done it. So because it's a beginner clinic, they feel comfortable coming out and doing it.
And I guess this is a good way to maybe introduce someone to firearms.
Exactly. And they know that they're going to get proper training.
And but tell me about your crew here. You got people that are with each team, right?
Yes, yes. The instructors come in from the outside. We also have range safety officers that work for us on weekends, and a couple of them during the week.
And so, do you have any more clinics going on after this weekend?
Yes, we have 3 out of the next 4 weekends.
And tell me once again, where can people go to check it out if they want to, if they're interested in coming to a skeet shooting clinic?
AtlantaSkeetShooting.com, and then they'll give me a call, and I'll put them on the reservation list.
Cool. And I guess, like I said, it's not as, it's not as aggressive. A lot of people think, oh my gosh, guns. But I mean, this is no different than really going going bowling or playing pool, and everything is regulated here. And
It is. We don't have accidents. That's super safety conscious. We give them a briefing at the counter, and then we send them out to a field with the range safety officer, and he makes sure that they're following the safety rules and keeping themselves safe and everybody else around them.
I guess this is also popular too. People, want to unwind after work, have a rough day, come out and blast some stuff.
Oh
right?
yeah, a lot of times they start doing these clinics and they turn into regular customers and start shooting competitively as well. And others, like I always wanted to do this, they leave happy they did it, but we don't see them again. I call them one and dones.
And also too, I mean, surprisingly, when I found this out, I was surprised. Schools have skeet teams, right?
They do now. For about the last 12 or 13 years here in Georgia, they've had it's become a high school sport. They get letter jackets for it and everything else. It's mostly parochial schools and some private schools, but none of the public schools yet.
Gotcha. And there's decent participation amongst the schools. I mean, I was out here. There's like 4 or 5 schools out here, I believe.
Yeah, we have about 8 to 10 schools practice out here each week during the season.
That's not bad. Well, awesome. Luke, thank you very much. Luke Deshotel, world champion skeet shooter here at the Tom Lowe Range, Elizabeth. It's a really cool spot. If you've never skeet shot before, if you ever shot a gun or anything, this is a cool place. It's a lot different than a shooting range. These are moving targets. This isn't shooting at paper. I think Luke says he calls shooting ranges, you're just punching holes in paper. Here you're actually moving targets. And you're shooting moving targets. And a lot more difficult. It takes a lot more skill and a little bit more practice. And you also got to anticipate the kick and the blast and all that stuff. It's a cool gig. I suggest if anybody is interested, come out and check out one of the clinics they have going on the weekends.
And just to be clear, Eli, no pigeons or birds were harmed in the making of this live shot?
Only clay pigeons or clay birds or whatever. Nah, they're just a little clay discs. There's no actual birds are being blasted out of the sky today.
All right.
Plus, I don't think it's in season right now, but it's a good way to practice. If you want to practice your bird hunting, come out here and shoot some clay pigeons.
Okay, all
Clay
right.
discs is what they are, about this big.
Awesome. You get the best assignments, as always. Thanks so much, Eli Jordan. We'll check back in just a bit. All right, stay with us. When we come back, we are talking to a dentist about marijuana and the impact on your dental health. We're talking to a dentist. We're going to have that on the other side of this break. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins, and this is News Now. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. We are talking all things dental health this morning, including how marijuana can really take an impact. I'm joined now with Dr. Elizabeth Walton. Good morning. Thanks for joining me.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so there's research out there that, what kind of dental issues are associated with marijuana use?
Well, there's significant issues associated with marijuana use or cannabis. Some of the things, of course, are a result of how we eat, the foods we consume when we are partaking with marijuana, because we tend to go towards those like caloric, high sugar foods, which can promote more dental decay. Another thing, too, is that cannabis can cause dry mouth, which also makes it easier for you to get cavities. And it also makes you more vulnerable to things like periodontal disease. So if you're predisposed and already having issues with gum disease, like bleeding gums and recession and things like that, that dry mouth can have a bigger impact on you as a result of using cannabis products.
And how is marijuana really impacting the younger population? I noticed that y'all kind of zeroed in on that in your research. And so what percentage of that is the adult population and what percentage of that is actually people that are underage?
Yeah. Well, actually, those symptoms I described do not discriminate for age. The significant difference that is a result of age with cannabis use is really the mental health side effects that come. Your brain is not fully developed until you're a young adult, maybe 25 years old. And at that point, until that point, use of cannabis can really be detrimental. Younger people have a lot of issues with anxiety. If they have issues with anxiety, the cannabis is going to make it worse. Cannabis use also impacts your memory, your cognitive abilities, your reaction time. It impacts all these different things that are really important for you to be functioning in school. There's a higher dropout rate among cannabis users. And of course, we still call cannabis a gateway drug, meaning that if you try that, it makes it easier for you to take another step to try something stronger that can have even more lasting side effects. So another thing that's kind of alarming is now that so many people are using vapes, you can have 100% concentration of THC, which makes you more likely to end up with an addiction, a cannabinoid issue with that. And then, believe it or not, there is something called cannabinoid hyperemesis disorder, where you just vomit and can't stop vomiting. And the only solution is you have to completely stop using all cannabis products.
So when it comes to recreational marijuana and even, legal or medicinal marijuana, is there a difference in terms of, how your body reacts, how it's consumed?
Okay. So there is a difference. The cannabis products that are used medicinally, like, we hear sometimes about little kids that are having issues with cancer and then they're put on a product to help with that. Those products are different and they're processed a little bit differently, and they're regulated more closely than if you walk in a dispensary and you get that 100% concentration. So those things are still medicinally applicable, and research still shows that those things are beneficial. Of course, they are still there's still kind of a lot of debate about them, and more research is needed for a lot of these topics still as well.
So what's your message to parents and children and young adults who may be consuming, whether it's legally or illegally, and its impact on your dental health?
It's really important to postpone these kinds of products usage as long as possible. The way that it impacts your pleasure sensors is it kind of bonds to them when you're a young person and doesn't release. So each time that you use a product like this, you have fewer receptors available, so you feel less pleasure. and you feel that way, even the normal things that would give you pleasure, like a hug from a friend or riding a roller coaster, gives you less pleasure than it would if you were not using these products. And that's the real impact. And there's a much higher incident of suicide with people who have started the marijuana use at a younger age. And there is some research to show that kids as young as 8th grade are using the products. You just really need to wait until you're an adult, until your brain is fully formed, to minimize these adverse side effects for you.
Anything else our viewers need to know about this and the research available?
There's so much research available. Talk to your dentist, talk to your pediatrician, and just make sure that you're aware of what the kids are doing. And the kids, please just wait until you're older. It'll make your life easier now and as an adult.
Awesome. Dr. Elizabeth Walton, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it this morning. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
You can listen to Fox 5 Live on the Fox 5 Radio 1 network. Just tune your HD radio to 107.9 HD2 FM.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Glad you're here with us this Saturday morning streaming, taking a live look at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. More changes are coming to TSA. First, the shoes, and now they're going to reduce, well, they're going to dial it back in terms of the liquids, right? You have to have 3.4 ounces. I had it written down. Small.
I don't know the specific number, but I'm more excited about that one than the shoes thing because I've had to pre-check for a long time. I can't remember the last time I took my shoes. Actually, I can. I was in France last month. I got sent back through security because I didn't take my shoes off because I was so used to it.
I will tell you, I have pre-check, and I actually they made me take off my shoes one time.
Oh, really?
It went off, and they were like, "Oh, it's your shoes," and I said, "Oh, okay." So, yeah, it was interesting. All right, so more changes to come. Not sure when that's going to happen, but we'll continue to follow that. But how's the weather going?
Yeah, so yesterday over at Hartsfield-Jackson, we did have a ground stop for a period of time thanks to some storms that were around. The storms blew right through the metro area, but I tell you what, where I was in Cobb County yesterday. I could look to my left and my right, and I could see it pouring, and it split me and went all around me. So not everybody saw heavy rain yesterday, but let me take you over to Fox 5 Live Viper right now. If you're planning on traveling today, a couple of things to highlight here. One is this cluster of storms that you see for really in Illinois now that's pushing towards Chicago. But if you're going to St. Louis, Indianapolis, even Chicago, maybe even Detroit and Louisville, anywhere in those areas in the next few hours, I would look for that to potentially impact what is going on in those spots. Now, let me take you over to the rainfall here over the last 24 hours, and we can see the rain that we got yesterday. So where I was right at the Cobb Cloverleaf when this happened. I was like right there, and you see the heavy rain there in Cobb and then right through downtown as well. Any of those green colors there, that's when you get over an inch. Now you get over 2 inches of rain. That was in parts of Gordon County over towards Pickens County and LJ, another band of rain from Barnesville up to Madison. So you see it was spotty in nature, and that's kind of what we've got on the docket through the day today. So here is Fox 5 Live Viper, and we do have some storms this morning in parts of northwest Georgia, and by northwest I mean extreme northwest Georgia. Really the lightning's in Alabama, but that's going to be moving towards Trenton, Chickamauga, Oglethorpe, Fort Oglethorpe, Catoosa County here in the next little bit. Elsewhere, not a whole lot going on just yet, but that is expected to change through the day today. 79 now in Atlanta. 86 is the actual air temperature in Eatonton. There you go. 99 is the heat index in Eatonton at 10:37 in the morning. 86 in Gainesville. 77 over in Blairsville. Your pool forecast today. It is going to be a warm one. In the temperature department, it is going to be somewhat wet this afternoon in terms of showers and storms, but the real story is what it's going to feel like outside, and that is low 100s for many of us here across north and central Georgia.
Okay, you had some homework to do. Dog days of summer.
Dog days of summer. Still working on it.
You're still working on it. But it is the dog days of summer. You know when it's 100 degrees outside.
Right.
We're also getting ready for back to school. I feel like it's a bad word.
Next Friday is our first district that goes back, Chattooga County.
I know,
Yeah.
it's just too soon, too soon. And Caitlin Pratt's actually at a back to school event this morning. We'll have that on the other side of this break. All right, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a great start to your Saturday morning. Glad you're streaming with us. Can you believe it? We are towards the end of July, which means the worst. Back to school. I literally feel like it's like a bad word, or at least I did when I was growing up. Want to go to Caitlin Pratt, joining us now live at a back to school bash. Caitlin, did you have the same like dread that would come over you when you would hear people start talking about back to school?
No, I was excited about my new school supplies. I was like, what kind of trapper keeper can we have this year? What kind of notebooks are we going to get? What kind of markers? I was that girl. I loved back to school time. And hopefully some of these kiddos here, this is at the Carver YMCA on Pryor Street here in Fulton County, the 4th annual back to school bash happening right now. You can see Freddie the Falcon is here, joining all the fun, greeting all the students here, and one of these nonprofits here dealing with young athletes. We want to tell you about them. Good morning to you, Miss.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing good. I'll hold it for you. No worries. So tell me about just how successful you guys have been with your efforts and what you're doing.
We're a twofold company. We're a for-profit and a nonprofit. Our for-profit side has been in existence for 5 years right now. It's amazing that our 5th year, 26 of our All-Americans, HBCU All-Stars, a combination of the few have went on to the MLB. So what I do for them is I support them on the nonprofit effort. I make sure we have education resources, mental health resources, as well as character development. Those are a few of my interns. When they're playing ball, they don't have time to physically look for it. So we provide it for them. We provide them volunteer hours, as well as you can see to give back to the community.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What are you doing specifically here today for our younger students?
For our younger students, we actually give back fundamental free baseball clinics. But today we're giving them free school supplies, letting them know who we are, where we are, so they can come back and hang out with us and play ball.
I love that. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks for talking with us. And let me just take you for a little tour. Of course, if this is being put on by the sheriff's office, Elizabeth, you're going to have some deputies here, yes, doing their thing. And I know all the young kiddos love to see the stuff that the police officers, the sheriff's deputies get to ride in. There's a SWAT vehicle over there. Something magical about a touch the truck, and for young kids, that's for sure. But music here, about 1,000 to 1,300 students being able to scoop up all the supplies they need for the upcoming school year. This is the 4th year the Sheriff's Department here in Fulton County has put this on, and clearly, well received. If you haven't registered already, don't worry, you can register once you arrive here. It is first come, first served, that's for sure. So come sooner rather than later. Everything is open until 1 o'clock this afternoon. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Caitlin Pratt reporting. Thanks so much. So glad to see all those excited students, because I was never excited. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have an update to an investigative piece that we've been following. Stick around. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins here with Chris Rosenthal, investigative journalist. You've been following this story out of Cobb County regarding this chokehold case, and there's a big update.
Yeah. This case is, checking with the DA's office, and this case is, now under investigation. It's now been in their hands. We've been following it. This started back in February, and it's been under internal investigation by the Cobb County Sheriff's Office since then. But the DA's office says that now since June 12th, actually, afternoon of June 12th, files got handed over to them to now review it. They're currently reviewing the case.
Okay. And so what now?
So what now? They're going to review it. They actually have had to go back and ask for some more information, more documents, things like that, to really update and do a complete, full investigation. That's not unusual. So.
And a big part of this case is that video, right? That we showed you that video a couple of months ago. I know this is, a big part of what kind of drew y'all's attention to this story.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, this started back in February, and we got a hold of this video, and we'll play some of it for you. It shows an inmate, a gentleman named William Carducci. He was a Cobb County inmate. He was taken to local hospital for what his attorney says he had an infection to be treated for. He was in a bed, he was shackled, he was handcuffed, and at one point he walks over to Cobb County deputies that were standing at the doorway. We don't know what if anything was said, because there's no audio with this, but he was shackled, he was handcuffed, and they grab him, they pull him, into the room more. One of the deputies gives him multiple punches, about a half dozen, and then at another point they put him into a chokehold for about 56 seconds to a minute before they finally get him into the bed. This happened back in February.
Okay. Wow, and the video is just very disturbing. And again, I think, like you mentioned, this is going to be a big part of this case moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mr. Carducci, he was, he was basically had been arrested for an incident of, violent incident with some family members. He was, according to court records and family and his attorney, he did have some mental health issues, some issues of schizophrenia. So, but he was in the hospital that day for what his attorney says was just an infection.
Okay. So back in February though. So why is it taking so long to get to the DA?
We've been asking all along and routinely checking back in with the sheriff's office, and they just keep saying it's under investigation. It's under investigation. They have to do their part, I suppose, and then turn it over. It has been a while. It has been about over 5 months now, but now it's in their hands.
All right. So obviously, sheriff's office doesn't say much.
Yeah, they haven't said much. The other thing we've been trying to figure out is, the status of these two deputies that were involved in this, their employment status. There was an incident report that we found from the sheriff's office. One of the deputies, his name was Sean Titer. He was listed as a suspect in this. The other one, his name is Donald Farr, listed as a witness, and they listed the I guess the possible incident on there is an ag assault, but they have not been charged.
Okay.
Mr. Titer's not been charged with that. We wanted to see if they were still working. We did see that Mr. Titer, he'd been given a basically 12 days paid administrative leave after this incident. But I've asked them recently, are they still working? They haven't got back to me, but I did do some open records and did find that, according to timesheets, they're still on the clock.
It appears that they are still working.
They're still working, yeah.
And could they still potentially face charges?
Yeah, that's up to the DA now. They have to look at it, see if they feel like there's probable cause, and perhaps take it to a grand jury if they think so, or drop it if they don't think so. But it's in their hands. We don't know how long that's going to take. Like I said, they say they've requested additional information to see.
And again, the video is going to be just a big part of how this plays out. Of course, we're going to continue to follow that, and I'm sure you'll keep us updated
absolutely.
on that. Anything else our viewers need to know as we wait anxiously on the DA?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, I also spoke with his attorney, J. Scott Anderson, and he had filed back in March an ante litem letter, which basically is precursor to a lawsuit. You know, basically putting the county on warning for a $3.5 million potential lawsuit. He's not filed a lawsuit yet, still waiting to hear back from the county. Okay. But that's something we'll keep an eye on as well if he formally files that lawsuit to see where that may be going.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Chris Rosenthal, as always.
You can listen to Fox 5 Live on the Fox 5 Radio 1 network. Just tune your HD radio to 107.9 HD2 FM.
And welcome back. Hope you're having a great Saturday morning. Thank you for streaming with us. Stay with us through the noon hour. We are streaming from 10 o'clock to 12 this Saturday morning. We're so glad that you were here. We've had a lot of headlines that we've brought to you, but make sure that you take your sunscreen out today. Make sure that you're prepared for the heat. We've been talking about heat. Alex Forbes has been giving you all the latest. We've had pop-up showers, so prepare for that. But we also have been following a lot of fun events happening around town, back to school and skeet shooting going on. So we've got live coverage throughout the afternoon, into the afternoon, and we will continue that after this break.
That 102 kind of scared me, but tell me again, the heat index, is that what it actually is, or is that what it feels like?
No, that's what it feels like,
Okay.
but that matters whenever you have football practice and doing things outside and so forth, and because that's what your body is responding to there.
Got you. And of course, that is going to come into play again with these events that we're going to bring you soon.
Right. Yep.
One of those coming up is with our Eli Jordan, who's out at men's Skeet in Atlanta. Little did you know, maybe, that right here in our area, we have a world champion that's giving out lessons. Eli Jordan, what can you tell us about the facility down there in Atlanta?
Hey, Judea, good morning. And yes, I'm out here at the Tom Lowe Skeet and Trap Range. People are blasting clay pigeons out of the sky. Let me show you what's going on here. We got a group right here just getting some things going on. But right now, I'm with the owner and operator, Luke Deshotel.
Deshotel.
Yes, how you doing, Luke?
Pretty good, pretty good.
So tell me, you guys, this is, what kind of range is this?
Trap and Skeet range, and we also have sporting clays.
And just tell me, what is Trap and Skeet?
They're clay target shooting games. Trap simulates like upland hunting, quail, pheasant, that sort of thing, and Skeet's more like dove hunting. This is Myra from Holy Spirit's shooting team, and her dad Ryan.
So you guys have school teams out here, right?
Yeah, we have about 8 or 10 school teams shooting, using our facility for practice, and they hold their tournaments out here as well.
And so we'll walk with them real quick. But so tell me, you guys have some clinics going on out here.
Yeah, we have one starting at noon.
And tell me, what kind of who's a good person to come to these clinics?
Complete beginners are the ones that usually come. They don't feel comfortable coming out here and not knowing what's going on, but when they see a Learn to Shoot clinic, they realize it's set up for them. So it's perfect.
And so when someone comes out here, do they have to, if they want to just try it out, do they have to have their own gun? Do they have to have their own ammunition?
No, they can buy or rent everything they need. We've had people have layovers at the Atlanta airport, and they'll take Uber out here, shoot, 6 or 7 rounds, and take Uber back and go on about their way.
And so what can someone expect to learn if they come out to one of these clinics? We'll step out of their way so they can get going.
All the basics for shooting and also all the safety involved.
And how many rounds do people get to shoot?
25 targets, which would be considered 1 round.
And
right now he's getting ready to shoot the Lowe house.
Okay.
This is Station 8 Lowe house.
It's hard to catch those pigeons flying by. Those clay pigeons. They're not real pigeons, people. So it's okay. It's all good. And so, that's just it. I've been out here. I was out here this past summer, did a story called Shotgun on Light and Sound on Fox Local. And there's, this isn't just a bunch of bubbas coming out here shooting their gun. School kids, you got women out here, girls out here, you got kids, you can bring the whole family out here, correct?
We have a whole family getting ready to start shooting sporting clays up top. It's somebody's birthday, and the cousins and everybody came out, and they'll be shooting on top of the hill.
And so, you have quite some experience yourself. You are a world champion, correct?
Yes, I am, and
world
also
champion.
my son.
And your son is a 6-time world champion, right?
Yep, and we're the only father and son to both win the overall world championship.
So we got Luke and Houston Deshotel, who are teamed up, and they're both world champions in the skeet shooting. And this is a great way, just, having a bad day, go up, blow off some steam. Just, you compared it to bowling. And
Yeah, the
pool or
mental
something.
discipline is very similar to bowling and golf and even batting. It's about 75% physical skill, and the other 25% is mental discipline.
Now, if somebody wanted to come down here, this isn't one of the clinics right here. They're about to get fired up here in a little bit. But if somebody wanted to check out the clinic or just come down here by themselves, what's your website?
It's atlantaskeetshooting.com. And if they like what happens during a Learn to Shoot clinic, they can also schedule private lessons. We have some instructors listed on the website.
Gotcha. And so what's that website one more time?
atlantaskeetshooting.com.
And the name? We're at the Tom Lowe
Shooting Grounds.
And exactly where are we located geographically?
We're in the city of South Fulton off of Camp Creek Parkway.
And just real quick, how much would it cost to come out here and shoot maybe 2 rounds? Let's say I want to shoot 2 rounds.
If you don't have anything, it would be about $50.
And you got supply, shells, shotguns, and lessons.
And the eye and ear protection, everything you need.
Gotcha. Well, this is really cool. And how many fields do you have here? Slots.
We have 7 trap fields and about 14 skeet fields, and then we also have an 11 or 12 station sporting place course.
So yeah, this isn't the only one. You guys come out here. I mean, take the clinic, come out here, rent your shotgun, purchase some rounds. Have when the experts come out here, you and your group, they can come out here and teach you how to properly, blow clay pigeons out of the sky. I can't talk either, Judea. But yeah, that's it. It's pretty cool out here. It's a lot tougher than you realize. I've done this before. I did about 2 rounds, which is about 50 flights of the clay pigeons. I only hit 2 of them. So, that's not very good. But things are going to get fired up. I mean, it's going to be popping and loud out here. It's already getting cranked up pretty good. And these clinics are going to be cranking up real soon. And, like I said, if you want to go out here, what's that website one more time?
AtlantaSkeetShooting.com.
AtlantaSkeetShooting.com. Check it out. And it's a fun, neat sport. It's kind of cool. It's different. It's a good way to get your aggressions out and blast some clay pigeons out of the sky. Judea?
Hey, Eli, thank you so much for giving us a sneak peek out there at the range. And listen, you said you hit 2. That's better than me. I don't think I would hit any. So we're not going to put a gun in my hands. Coming back into studio, I do want to let you know that we did just get some breaking news into the station. At Forsyth Street, there was a shooting at a Greyhound station. Before we knew that there was a man with 2 apparent gunshot wounds to the face and 1 to his arm. We did just find out that that man has died. As far as we know, there has been no word yet on any suspects or a motive in the shooting. Of course, when we do get the information, we will try to get it out to you as soon as possible. You can also keep your eyes on fox5atlanta.com and the Fox Local app for a story to populate pretty soon. But until then, I do want to get you a quick break. When we come back, we have a lot more headlines to get to you and some more cool events, kind of like that skeet shooting out in the Metro Atlanta area. We'll be back right after this break. Hey guys, welcome back into Fox Local. I'm your host, Judea Murray. Now, not too long ago, the TSA put out a new warning saying that those USB ports that you see out in the airport or really anywhere else out in the public are more dangerous than they are convenient. They're warning against a phenomenon called juice jacking. And so to help us unpack what that is, why it's so harmful, and how you can protect yourself is internet security expert Eric Lamb. Eric, welcome to Fox Local.
Thank you, Judea. Happy to be here.
So I asked around the newsroom before we began this interview, and everybody looked at me like I had 10 heads. What is juice jacking?
Yeah, well, first, it sounds like a cool and innocent term, doesn't it? But it's actually quite dangerous. And the idea is that we're always on our smartphones and our tablets, and they constantly run out of electricity, out of power. And so we're always looking for places to plug in. And one thing that people forget is that those USB cables that we use to charge our smartphones also carry data. That's half the point of those cables. And so when you're plugging in to charge, let's say at an airport or a bus station or a hotel or a cafe, then your view is, hey, I'm just getting power here. But what could be happening is data could also be transferred. And there are hackers out there who have figured out exactly how to do this.
Okay, so we talk about data. What exactly are these hackers looking for when they try to steal your information?
Yeah, so just about anything. They're looking for your personal and financial records, anything they can get their hands on that tie you to your bank accounts and all your other logins. So what a lot of people don't think about is that your personal and financial information is valuable to hackers. On the dark web, personal information could be worth up to $1,000. So hackers are actively seeking to grab this data wherever they can from you, your personal information, and then go out and sell it to somebody who's going to try to do something fraudulent with that data.
Goodness. All right, well, I thought about it myself. I think that I heard about this a couple of years ago because I remember specifically that I stopped using those USB ports. But the TSA is putting their warning out now. Why do you think now in particular is so important to them?
Well, really, people are traveling now more than ever. And so they're getting onto airplanes, they're going through airports, staying in hotels. And so because the volume of travelers is so high, also the potential for fraud and for grabbing your data will also increase. I think that's why the warning got put out there for preparation for the summer travel season.
To your knowledge, are there a lot of real world cases where this has happened, or is it more so like a theoretical, let's make sure we tell you that this could happen to you so that it doesn't happen to anyone?
Well, yeah, so it's a good question. It's an identified security threat. And we really don't know how often this happens. And the reason we don't is it happens quietly. There's no notification on your phone or your tablet or your laptop that you've been hacked. When you plug it in, it could be, it's that is actually one of the goals of the hacker is to not let on that you have been hacked. Because if you let on as a hacker that the person's being hacked, then that customer, that consumer at the end of the day who's trying to charge your phone is going to end up changing all their passwords and becoming more security aware. So it's a quiet threat. So really when these warnings get issued, it's to show people that that threat is possible and it exists.
So realistically, not only could this have happened to you already, but you really wouldn't even know if you were a victim until it's way too late.
That's really true. And the thing is, there are very, very easy ways to prevent this from happening. So the first one is that you could actually if you use your AC adapter, so the actual plug that goes into the wall plug, if you use that instead of just simply plugging your USB into a USB jack, that alone cuts off the data access. So you're safe. That's the easiest way to do it. I know it sounds tempting to travel with just simply your USB cable, but when you actually plug it into the wall, even though it's hard to find a plug sometimes, that is a surefire way to protect yourself. There are also other specific kinds of cables and adapters that prevent the data flow. You can just go online and find these. They exist. And so this is another way by blocking the data but allowing the power to get through. That's another way to do it. And the third way that we recommend is to get a power bank. They tend to be inexpensive. They're very secure. You charge it before your trip, and then you've got plenty of power, and you can feel very, very confident that your data is not going to be stolen that way.
Beautiful. I actually brought some props with me. The only thing that I don't have is that power bank, but I'll have to go to the store and get one, especially if it can keep me safe.
Right.
Just out of curiosity, are any devices immune? Obviously your phone is one of the ones that they're looking for, and that's where they'll get their information. But if you're using iOS or Android, are any of them safe?
Really, none are immune. And the thing to think about is if you're a hacker, you're always trying to stay ahead of the smartphone manufacturers, the software companies. And so that is really where the threat comes from. Is it's sort of like a cat and a mouse game, where you've got security experts trying to stay ahead of hackers and hackers trying to get ahead of security experts. And so I would say that really it's best to have the assumption that your device is not safe, and therefore to take a few simple measures to give yourself that protection.
Okay, cool. Now, looking ahead for those who are going to be out there traveling pretty soon, is there any way that you could tell that the port that you're plugging into isn't a safe one? Are there any telltale signs that we can look out for?
Well, if the hacker has done a very good job, they can disguise the ports. Somehow that hacker would have to have a way to get the data from wherever your plug is, out to their own laptop or through the network. And so there would have to be either some hardwired evidence or some kind of a transmitter. So I think the idea here is that with a quick look, you will not be able to tell. It's the same concept as those credit card skimmers that can be found on ATMs and convenience stores, where you really believe you innocently put your ATM card in and punch in your PIN, and because it looks so realistic, your data can be stolen. Same thing is, the better the hacker, the less telltale there will be that you're being hacked.
Okay, noted. Try to keep that in your mind moving forward. Like you said, using your block is probably the best way to avoid, other than the other tips that you gave us. Now, I want to ask, besides the USB ports, are there any other tech threats that we should be looking out for when we're out in public?
There really are. I would say almost more dangerous is the threat of using public Wi-Fi.
That's a good one.
When you use public Wi-Fi, let's say at a cafe or a hotel or even possibly an airport, there's an attack called the evil twin attack. It sounds very nefarious, but what it is that a hacker could be sitting nearby with their laptop open and transmitting a Wi-Fi signal that is legitimate. It will really give you Wi-Fi access, but they've named it to be something similar to where you are. So just as an example, let's say your favorite neighborhood cafe is Ace Cafe, and they have Wi-Fi, and you go there and you work every now and then. Well, there could be another person nearby with a laptop that also created the name Ace Cafe for their Wi-Fi hotspot, and you could be connecting to that, and then the reason they call it evil twin is it looks just like a legitimate hotspot, but there will be a hacker intercepting your data. So Wi-Fi is another thing to look out for. And again, there are measures that are not that complicated to ensure that you can secure your data.
Ooh, I'll be looking out for those evil twins. Thank you for that tip. Now, obviously, all of what you research and all of that you study is not simple, but I really appreciate you being able to break it down for us and our audience. For those of you who are out there streaming with us, of course, we wish you safe travels, but also safe charging. It's a shame that, we are just trying to get powered up, but you have to be very careful. So, Eric, thank you so much for your time. For you guys out there, we're going to get you a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Fox 5 News Now on Fox Local. Maybe you're streaming with us out there on YouTube. Maybe you are listening to us on the radio. Thank you for choosing us for your headlines and all of the amazing events happening around the metro Atlanta area. I'm Judea Murray. I'm going to be your host for the next hour and some change. Now, we are going to start with some news that our Lindsay Tuman has been out reporting on in Tucker. Yet another DeKalb County hotel is under fire, facing some, pretty heinous accusations, but also being urged to pay one of the victims involved. Lindsay, what can you tell us about this particular case?
Yes, this is a settlement of a civil lawsuit, Judea, and it all stemmed actually from a bust at a hotel 10 years ago that DeKalb County police were a part of. It's very similar to another case that we told you about last week, which was that $40 million federal lawsuit where a jury awarded a survivor of child sex trafficking that amount of money after finding that the hotel did not take action to prevent what was happening on the property. We're seeing that again in this new lawsuit that we're telling you about this week. This case surrounds Deshandra Hill, who was just 15 years old at the time. She says she was in a very difficult situation when a family member actually trafficked her over the course of several days at that Tucker hotel. At the time, it was a Super 8. The name of the hotel has changed, but the owners stay the same. Tucker Inn Incorporated. Ultimately, DeKalb County Police had a bust at that hotel and found Hill, rescuing her from that situation. But she says the hotel should have stepped in before then, that there were obvious signs as to what was happening on the property. And that's why she's been working with an attorney to hold them accountable.
Hey, just so you know, Lindsay, that SA is not going to work for us real quick. Let's get back to more information about the case.
Okay, well, I'll just let you know what she was going to say. We were going to play some sound from the victim there, telling about her experience, why she thought the hotel should be held accountable. And her attorney also went into those details as well. He talked about how when there are obvious signs of this act happening on hotel property, things that might be as obvious as actions taking place out in the open in these areas, not necessarily behind closed doors. Action can be as simple as calling 911, and it doesn't need to be anything further than that. That's why they say it's so important that there is something being done to protect the children in these situations. And that's another thing the attorney brought up, is that it can also just be not renting hotel rooms to what are clearly, or who are clearly minors. And back to the settlement in this case, $6 million, something that they really wanted to make sure was a part of it is that it was a public settlement, that they would be able to talk about this. And that's because Hill says part of the way she wants to use this money is to open up a shelter for others who are in her shoes, have been in her shoes, and help give them a voice. She also wants to be able to share her story and what she went through. Now, as far as the owners go, the Tucker Inn Incorporated, we did reach out to them for comment. They declined to comment on the story or the settlement, but of course, if that changes, we'll keep you updated. That is the latest out here in DeKalb County. I'm Lindsay Tuman. Back to you.
Lindsay, thank you so much for helping break this down. There was something that you said the last time we covered the case, the one that was in Decatur, and it was that unfortunately these kinds of incidents are all too common. And I mean, here's a perfect example. Yes, this happened 10 years ago, but this is something that unfortunately happens right under our noses right here in our homes. So thank you again for giving us that quick breakdown. Coming back into studio, we have other headlines that we want to get you to, so you know what's happening right here in the Metro Atlanta area as well as North Georgia, starting with the family of Cornelius Taylor. You may remember that name. He is the man who was killed during a homeless encampment sweep here in Atlanta. His family says that he was crushed by one of the construction vehicles while he was sound asleep in his tent. Now, since the 46-year-old died, Atlanta leaders have adopted new policies to help homeless people. His family says that while that's well and nice, it's not enough. So they're suing the city of Atlanta, hoping that no one else will have to feel their pain. Take a listen.
This is totally avoidable. We're here just because someone, in my own personal opinion, was lazy. They chose to not fulfill the obligations of their job by checking to see that my brother was there. This isn't about the lawsuit. It never was about the lawsuit. This was about trying to make sure this doesn't happen again.
And another big headline that we are covering comes from Cobb County. Over there, an unlicensed massage therapist has been arrested and accused of child molestation and sexual battery. You're looking at the gentleman on screen. Deputies say they caught 57-year-old Timothy Ang during a traffic stop in Noonan. The sheriff's office says 2 victims, guys, one as young as 13, accused Ang of assault during an at-home appointment. And the deputies say that those statements are highly credible. So if you have ever received services from Ang, deputies want you to come forward to take a listen.
Investigators found out that these events occurred at the family's home when Mr. Ang was hired as a massage therapist for the family.
The home front, a manhunt is underway for a suspect wanted in connection to a sexual assault inside the HE Homes MARTA station. This happened early Thursday morning on the plaza. The suspect was last seen wearing a blue hat, gray shirt, black pants, and black, red, and white sneakers. You can see him there on your screen. If you know anything about the incident or maybe you recognize him, you are urged to give MARTA police a call. And unfortunately, today is the day William Hamer, one of the first black firefighters in Atlanta, is being laid to rest. His celebration of life ceremony began at 11 a.m. Now, if you have never heard of Hamer, let me give you guys a quick history lesson. In 1963, he and 15 other men became the first black firefighters in the city during the height of the civil rights movement. Of course, segregation was very much so still real, and he had to fight to prove that he belonged. So in 1975, he sued the city for discriminatory practices and lack of promotions. And guys, he won. By 1985, he became the first black chief of the Atlanta Fire Department, and his legacy today still lives on. Let's listen. All right, you know what? Coming back to us in studio, today is a big day for the city of Atlanta. There are a lot of back to school giveaways, drives underway. We've got a list of a couple of those that I wanted to run through real quick with you guys. If you are looking for supplies, if you're trying to get ready for back to school, just a couple to name off the top of my head. In Fulton County, the sheriff's office is doing a back to school bash for 2025. If you were able to stream with us a little earlier, our Elizabeth Rollins was talking to Caitlin Pratt, who was out there on the scene. It looked really fun. You know, they had music. I think a little later on, they might even have some food. But if you live closer to Clayton County, Kids Care and the Clayton County Police Department are having their 5th annual school supply drive. Another fun event out there. Over in Stockbridge, there's a back to school giveaway. And then what's pretty cool tonight, Union City Lights Up the Night Festival will be underway. There is a laser light show, which is pretty cool. Again, they've got a DJ, music, they're gonna have food. I believe that one kicks off at 6 p.m. And then last but not least, the Atlanta Falcons are having a backpack giveaway. If you go out there, you may meet some of the cheerleaders, maybe you'll meet a player or two, you will definitely meet the mascot. You can take some nice cool pictures. They will be giving away backpacks and other supplies. Now, the only big thing that a lot of these organizers are asking is that you bring the child who would be receiving the supplies with you. They need to be on scene with you at these drives. All right, now, back in the studio, if you do plan on going to any one of those drives out today, big thing you want to know is what is the weather going to be like?
Hot, back to you.
Oh, wait. I wasn't expecting that.
Hot, humid, showers and storms. Some of you have heard that one before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, July here in Georgia. All right, so we've already warmed up. All right, it's almost to the noon hour. 81 is where we stand now in Atlanta, 88 in Eatonton, 80 in Canton, but that doesn't tell the whole story. That does. Feels like 100 now in Eatonton, 91 in Athens, 84 in Canton, 82 at Carrollton. So yes, it is rather warm outside. We're also beginning to see a few showers. Do want to point out that our radar that's actually in Peachtree City, that is down right now. It's scheduled maintenance, so that is to be expected. All that means is we're not seeing the showers at as high of a resolution through the day today, likely through tomorrow as well. But look, it's raining in parts of Floyd County, raining in parts of Lumpkin County, White County. Some storms this morning up and around the Chattanooga area. That's going to be Walker County. Also, looking back over towards Florence, Alabama, some storms this morning. Here's what we've got on the radar through the afternoon. I'm expecting to see somebody flip a switch, looking at more showers and storms through the early afternoon and then on into the evening tonight. I think the better chance of rain, generally speaking, is north of Interstate 20. But then for tomorrow, we're all going to be in the mix equally as we get this fired up. 8, 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow and on into the afternoon. There you go. The physics here is quite literally like a pot of boiling water. Wherever you get the bubble to come up in the water, that's like the storm forming. So that's what we're going to have today and tomorrow. 40% chance of rain for today. That's going to be at 30% for tomorrow, and it's going to be hot. Did I mention it's going to be hot? 93, 94, 95, 95. But look at those feels like temperatures, 100, 103, 102. Going to be a possibility here through the next couple of days. Looks like our best chance of rain is going to come our way on Tuesday at 60%. That's also going to be one of our warmest days, one of those 95-degree days. But look, our average high for this time of year is 90. We're running a couple degrees above average each afternoon. A 20% chance of rain by Thursday and Friday. So as Chattooga County heads back to school on Friday, looking for a warm start with a high temperature of 94.
Oh my gosh, Alex. Okay, so first of all, I'm originally from New York. We didn't go back to school in September.
Yeah, this whole July thing is still new for us here as well. So I went to Forsyth County Schools, which it's just north of Atlanta. I feel like we always went back the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. It was right in there. But then when they added in fall break, we got that week off in fall. They shifted it up a week. So now it's like the first week of August. I didn't hate it. It's like ripping the Band-Aid off. You got to do it at some point. I'm fine. It's okay. July might be a little early. July 31st might be pushing it, but August like 3rd or 4th versus the 13th or 14th. It's hot on either day.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter when you do it.
I just can't imagine going to recess in these temperatures, but yeah.
Well, you're in Georgia now. I mean, it's going to be like this till end of September, so.
Okay, well. Brace yourselves.
Right.
For those of you out there streaming with us, especially out there on YouTube, I know we get viewers from pretty much anywhere. It's not just Georgia. Some of you guys aren't even from the U.S. Just out of curiosity, when do you go back to school? When do the kids that you know, cousins, maybe your children, go back to school? Just curious. In other news, where a place where I'm thinking that they're hoping that it's not going to rain anytime soon is Atlanta, out at the Atlanta Trap and Skeet at Tom Lowe shooting grounds. That's where we have our Eli Jordan on the scene, teaching us a thing or two about men's skeet. Eli, first of all, what in the world is that?
Hey, Judea, I'm out here at Tom Lowe in South Fulton, and right now, they're not doing any trap or skeet. They are doing sporting clays. Sporting clays is a little bit different. Trap and skeet, you have the clays flying through the air, going away from you, flying through the air. Sporting clays, it seems like they have some like simulated rabbits. These are all fake. They're not real. Simulated rabbits going across the field here, and you can shoot at the ground or you can shoot there. And right now, I am with the owner and operator, Luke Desautel of the Tom Lowe shooting range. Luke, how are you doing today?
Doing well.
And so tell me, what kind of people do you have coming out here to the range?
Anywhere from beginners to world champions.
And what do you offer?
Trap, skeet, and this sporting clays, which is the newest of the clay target shooting games.
And just tell me, it looks like we got a family out here. It looks like it's open for everybody.
Yep, they're celebrating somebody's birthday. So everybody's shooting.
And so you have clinics that go on out here for where beginners can come out, right?
We do.
And so what can a beginner expect when they come out to a clinic?
They would have everything they need to shoot 25 targets plus instruction. And we're doing them almost every Saturday. And it's by appointment. And we do groups of 10. And you can get to the schedule on atlantaskeetshooting.com.
atlantaskeetshooting.com. And if I want to bring a group of 10 out here, how much would that cost me per person, basically?
$34.95 a person.
And that includes the shotgun and the ammo and the hearing
earplugs and the glasses.
Gotcha. So that seems like a pretty good deal to go out here and just blast some clay pigeons away. And but I mean, you got several, it doesn't look like people are waiting in line or anything like that. You got a lot of what they call fields.
Correct.
Right?
The sporting clays has 12 different stations.
And like I said, you guys provide the shotguns as well, the firearms.
Correct.
And you guys got some nice
and
firearms,
size
right?
appropriate as well.
You guys have like the Beretta firearms. Those are pretty nice.
Yes.
And so tell me, you have experience shooting some clay pigeons yourself, right?
Yeah, my specialty is skeet shooting.
And you've won a few awards, I guess?
Yeah, I'm a 4-time world champion, and my son is a 6-time world champion, and he's in Indiana right now competing.
That is so cool. That is cool. You got a little legacy going on here with the Desautel's and the skeet shooting. So when did you first start shooting?
In 1978.
1978. I was 4 years old. And did you start off skeet shooting?
Well, we started off in the cow pasture, slinging targets that way, and then we started shooting regulation skeet in 78. Cool. And I competed for 29 years and took over running this place 27 years ago.
And this place is kind of well known. I mean, we've had like when Anthony Bourdain came to Atlanta to shoot the layover, he not only went to the Claremont Lounge, he came out here to the Tom Lowe shooting range. I guess that was kind of exciting, though.
It was. Gave us a lot of publicity. We actually had somebody from India come out and shoot, and they said they saw the program in India.
Wow, that's good. And saw everything where he went, yeah. So looks like we got a family out here, and they're just kind of showing some proper use of the shotgun. I don't want to get too far in front of, I don't want to get in front at all, Judea. But this is really cool. I mean, you can get beginners out here, bring your family out here. It's really low key. There's not a bunch of pressure. You're not rushed or anything like that. And, you know, you don't have to be good at it. I've come out here before, and out of 50 targets, I only hit 2. But it's still fun because you're blasting the gun in the air and, you know, hit moving targets. This is different than a regular shooting range where you're shooting at, you know, just inanimate, non-moving targets, in which I think Luke calls that punching holes in paper. But this is much more challenging because you're shooting moving targets, and that, you know, get your skills up there a little bit, and it's pretty cool. Like I said, they got clinics out here every Saturday. They're getting cranked up with those, and if you want to go and check out, see if there's an opening, what's the website, Luke?
AtlantaSkeetShooting.com.
AtlantaSkeetShooting.com. Judea, you going to come out here and do some skeet shooting?
Well, first of all, I don't know that I could hit a stationary target, so a moving one just sounds like migraines and headaches for me. I'd also want to, you know, pinpoint the fact that it is so cool that you're out there interviewing Luke right now, because not only is he a 4-time world champion, he's also a Hall of Famer for men's skeet. Like, that's a pretty big deal. And again, to your point of you don't even have to be good to get out there, so maybe I will go. They say that this is pretty cool for bachelorette groups, birthday parties, maybe even getting your office squad together and going out and just shooting some stuff.
Yeah, team building experience, definitely good for the office. And like you said, you know,
you bought them at Academy, maybe not.
It's something different. It's really cool, and then you know, everybody gets to participate. You know, these are shotguns. They give you a good kick. I mean, you know you're shooting a shotgun when you shoot one of these, and I think it's a little bit more entertaining than just going to the range, because you know, this is moving targets. It takes a little bit more skill.
Yeah, I imagine. Well, coming back into us in studio, because we will get back out to our Eli Jordan a little later on. I did want to give a quick shout out. I was looking through the YouTube comment section. I'm trying to interact a little bit more with you guys while you stream with us. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Orvius, who is streaming with us from Chicago. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right, I'm going to get you guys a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk to you a little more about the exciting things to do around the Metro Atlanta area. We'll have more when we come back. guys, welcome back to Fox 5 News Now. My name is Judea Murray. I'm going to be your host for the next little bit here. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you are streaming with us on YouTube, on the Fox Local app, maybe you're listening to us on the radio. We appreciate having you. I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about some of the cool things happening across Georgia in our area, starting with a longtime favorite of top celebrities and designers. It's called Marburger. So the Marburger Farm Antique Show is back in Atlanta. The Antique and Design Show has filled downtown Atlanta's Southern Exchange ballrooms with all sorts of treasures that might just look perfect in your living room. Today is unfortunately the last day to get your hands on something good, so you're gonna wanna get down there. You have until 4 p.m. Now in other news, while I don't know too much about spades, I can tell you right now, anybody can get this work in a game of Uno. Mattel's iconic card game is offering a new pop-up experience that's hitting the road and coming through our neck of the woods. Each event features tournament-style gameplay, Uno-themed drink menus, interactive photo ops, and unique game spin-offs. I don't know, guys, you might see me there. Atlanta's event is set for August 19th at Ormsby's. And there are plenty of other events to do in our area today. If you actually head to our website and look for the Things to Do tab, you'll also find them on Fox Local. We have a full list. Every week it's put together by our digital content creator, Joyce Lupiani, and she takes a lot of pride in these lists. I mean, they are categorized. We've got foodie events. She'll tell you about music that's coming to our area. Artsy events. All you have to do is take a quick scroll through and find something that speaks to you. Again, you can find that full list on fox5atlanta.com as well as the Fox Local app. Just scroll until you see the Things to Do tab. All right, coming back in, speaking of things to do, there are a lot of back to school giveaways and supply drives and all sorts of things across Georgia. We actually had our Caitlin Pratt out at one of them in Fulton County with the sheriff's office. Let's toss to that one.
This is an amazing community event. I think a lot of times people don't have an opportunity to engage with law enforcement outside of getting a ticket or something really bad, the worst 15 minutes of their day. And this is an opportunity for the sheriff's office to show the community that we are really engaged and really trying to do things to show that we're more than just enforcing the law. We're here to be community partners as well.
These school supplies, man, really add up.
Yes.
What kind of difference does this make for these families?
It makes a huge difference because there are so many families that are experiencing financial difficulties, and us being able to give these things out to them to just make it just that much easier so that they can spend those funds on something else or something that their child might not have been able to get. We were able to give it to them today. So I'm sure it's helping them out a whole lot.
Recommendations to parents, to kids as we enter our new school year about safety.
Oh, safety is so important. If you see something, say something. Bullying is a really big issue in a lot of schools now on the internet and even in school. So just making sure if you see something, say something to someone and be kind. Just be kind because you never know what people are going through.
And guys, there are plenty of other school drives available in our area other than the Fulton County Sheriff's Office Back to School Bash 2025 that you just heard from. Kids Care in Clayton County, they're holding their 5th annual school supply drive at the Cobb Civic Center. That one ends at 2 p.m., so you got about 2 hours left. City of Stockbridge is holding a giveaway in the Bridge parking lot at the ViStar Amphitheater. That one ends at 1 p.m. So again, if you're in that area, you may want to get out there pretty quickly. Union City Light Up the Night Festival. That one honestly sounds like my favorite. There will be a laser light show, carnival-themed games, rides, a whole lot more. That one doesn't start until 6 p.m. So if you want to go when the sun sets and it's a little cooler outside, that may be a good option for you. You could also join the Dirty Birds for free haircuts, discounted Falcons gear, and pop-ups from Freddie Falcon, the cheerleaders, and more. Now, the only thing about each of these events, most of the organizers are just asking that your child be present with you in order to receive their free supplies. Pretty cool stuff. Well, coming back into the studio, I mean, I'm just wondering, while other people might be getting out there, what's the weather like today? But then also, what's it going to be like this week? Can you give us a preview?
Hot.
That's
about it? Yeah.
All right. It's going to be hot.
No, yeah. So look, it's July now.
Yes.
And we're in Georgia. And the same thing happens every July over and over again. So high temperatures, they're in the 90s. Our average high temperature for this time of year is 90 degrees. We're going to be in the low to mid 90s in terms of the actual air temperature, but of course it's going to feel hotter than that each afternoon. So as we look over the course of the next 7 days here, look, we've got 93 today. And I can say that it's going to be warmer on Monday and Tuesday by 2 degrees, but it's going to feel about the same, right? 95 versus 93. I think those are going to be the days, though, where you look at heat index values 100 plus as far north as the metro area, maybe even as far north as northwest Georgia. Best chance of rain comes on Tuesday at 60%, but between now and then, we're going to be doing the same song and dance. We're going to be dodging showers and storms. If you're like me, you're going to have them go right around you, like I said yesterday in Cobb County. But by the time we get towards Thursday and Friday, there's not going to be quite as many of them. Don't get me wrong. It's still going to be hot. It's still going to be humid. So when the kids go back to school in Chattooga County on Friday, yes, it is going to be a warm one. But that is what you get for sending the kids back to school in July.
Yeah. I mean, before one of our breaks, I told you I'm from New York. We didn't go back to school until September. It was after Labor Day, actually, to be specific.
Well, so, I mean, and speaking of that time of year, right, if you want a tunnel vision to something that will get a lot of people excited here, 5 more Saturdays until college football is back.
Ooh.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
UGA. Yep.
Moving to Georgia, I had to learn this is football country.
Oh, yes. Specifically college football. Yeah, I think the NFL is prevalent across a large part of the United States, but something about the Southeast and college football, they just go together.
So then I'm assuming the Bulldogs, that's your team?
The Mississippi State Bulldogs, the better of the two. Let's be accurate about this, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's my joke around here is that the Mississippi State Bulldogs. So I went to Mississippi State, so that is the better of the two.
I went to Howard University. Our football team was just gonna leave it there. Just gonna leave it there. Well, this has been Alex Forbes with us. Thank you so much for our forecast. We'll come back to you.
See you in a little bit.
Yep. All right. You guys, don't go anywhere because after this break, we have more headlines for you, things that are happening around the metro Atlanta area, things that you need to know in order to stay safe and have fun in your area. We'll be right back after this break.
Listen to Fox 5 Live on the Fox 5 Radio 1 network. Just tune your HD radio to 107.9 HD2 FM.
Welcome back to Fox 5 News Now. My name is Judea Murray. I'm here with you for the next 30 minutes or so. Thank you so much for streaming all morning long into the afternoon with myself and my colleague Elizabeth Rollins. We appreciate having you, whether you are streaming with us on the Fox Local app, YouTube, or maybe listening to us on the radio. Let's get you some of those headlines for today. Here are the top things happening in the metro Atlanta area, starting with breaking news that we got in the studio not too long ago. One person has been confirmed dead in a Greyhound shooting. We did learn previously that this person had been shot at least twice in the face, one in the arm. That man has unfortunately been reported dead. We don't have any word yet on a suspect or any potential motive in the shooting, but this happened on Forsyth Street. And as soon as we do get some information, we'll try to get that out to you as soon as possible. One of the stories that our reporter has been covering all morning long out in Cobb County, yet another hotel is on the hook after being accused of turning a blind eye to sex trafficking. This happened off of Lawrenceville Highway at Tucker Inn back in 2015. The survivor, Deshandra Hill, says she was only 15 years old when she says her half-sister sold her off to dozens of men at what was once a Motel 8, Now, the owners of that establishment, Tucker Inn, Inc., have been ordered to pay her $6 million for apparently seeing what was happening, but failing to intervene. Let's hear from her attorney.
But it's a business model for everybody. It's a business model for the trafficker because he's selling basically the child for sex to make money. It's a business model for the hotel because they're making room rentals. And that's what it is. I mean, it's sad, but it's a business to those people. And if they're going to allow that to happen, you know, it's just, and that's why I think we've seen the explosion over the past decade, because it's now so easy for a buyer to go on the internet, find a person they're going to buy, drive off the interstate, pull into a hotel. If the hotel owner's turning a blind eye, then there's no kind of stopping it. The police can't be private security for every single business.
Yeah, and not too long ago, our Lindsay Tuman, who was on that story earlier today, told us about, the fact that this isn't that uncommon, unfortunately. The big thing now is that they're hoping that people pay attention to the signs and are able to tell their law enforcement when they feel something is wrong. Now, another big story that got really popular online, Atlanta rapper Cash Out has been found guilty of certain charges. So maybe you've been paying attention to his case in the trial. Cash Out is known for hits like She Twerking, Cashing Out. He's been found guilty on several counts, including rape and sex trafficking. Cash Out's real name is John Gibson. He's also been found guilty on RICO charges. But it wasn't a guilty verdict across the board. The jury agreed that he wasn't guilty on one of those sex trafficking charges and aggravated assault. Now, Gibson was arrested in June of 2019 during a prostitution sting at a Gwinnett County hotel. He was on trial with both his mom and his cousin. As we know it now, the judge has set his sentencing hearing for Monday. You can expect that we will be on that. We'll get that information to you out as soon as possible. Now I have some bad news, folks. 2 new cases of the West Nile virus have been confirmed in mosquito traps in Fulton County. There have been 49 West Nile cases so far this year. Positive cases have been reported in Northwest and Southeast Atlanta, as well as Hapeville. So what's next? Fulton County health officials are working with a mosquito control vendor to try and rid the area of mosquitoes where the virus has been detected. As for what you can do to protect yourself, to prevent the spread, we have a list of ways that you can do both of those things in an article posted online to fox5atlanta.com. You can also find it on the Fox Local app. Another big headline, one city council has decided that they're going to investigate their own police department. This is happening in the South Fulton area. So South Fulton's city council has voted to launch an independent investigation into its own police force. At least 4 former officers have sued the department, claiming corruption, wage theft, and retaliation. One of those lawsuits claims that South Fulton Chief Keith Meadows used his power to get his own nephew out of trouble after a police chase involving a stolen vehicle and illegal drugs. We have a quick soundbite for you about that. Let's take a listen.
This is a very serious matter, and it's time for them to take it serious. And they have the opportunity to do that, so we hope that they stand firm to that. If not, we'll be coming for their jobs too.
Well, in a statement to Fox 5, a South Fulton police spokesperson says, and I quote, "It will fully cooperate with the independent investigation authorized by the City Council," adding that we are confident the findings will confirm the integrity of our leadership and operations. And we'll keep you updated on that as well. Now, listen, there are quite a few things that you can get into around the Metro Atlanta area. We have a full list posted on fox5atlanta.com. You can also access it on the Fox Local app. All you got to do is scroll until you find the tab called Things to Do. Our digital content creator, Joyce Lupiani, puts these lists together every week, and they are extremely thorough. I mean, whether you're a foodie and you want to figure out where you can get some of the best eats around town, or maybe you're more so into the music scene and you want to know what artists are going to be in and having some performances. Maybe you're just really artsy, you want to find something hands-on with some arts and crafts in your area. We have a little bit of everything, a little bit of everywhere. So shout out to Joyce Lupiani again for putting that list together. If you are looking forward, you want something to do the rest of this Sunday afternoon, you can go on fox5atlanta.com or look it up in the Fox Local app. In addition to the cool things that we have going on in our area, we have quite a few back to school giveaways and drives around town. I want to get you some more information on a couple of them. Just bear with me one second. Okay, so we had our Caitlin Pratt a little out earlier at Fulton County Sheriff's Office Back to School Bash 2025. That was pretty popping when she was out there, but in addition to that, if you're closer to the Clayton County area, Kids Care in Clayton County are holding their 5th annual school supply drive at the Cobb Civic Center. That ends at 2 p.m. The City of Stockbridge is also holding a giveaway. This is taking place in the Bridge parking lot at the Vice Star Amphitheater. This one ends at 1 p.m., so you've got just under an hour to get out there and get what you can. Union City Light Up at the Night Festival is also a good one. If you can get out there, it doesn't start until 6 p.m. But guys, listen up. There will be a laser light show, carnival-themed games, rides, and a whole lot more. And another fun one, you can join the Dirty Birds for free haircuts, discounted Falcons gear, and pop-ups from Freddie Falcon, the cheerleaders, and a whole lot more interesting people. Now, the only thing that most of these organizers are asking is for your child to be present in order to receive the supplies. Unfortunately, a lot of them are saying they can't just give them to you as the adult. You have to have the child that stuff is gonna go to present with you, which, you know, is understandable. And speaking of back to school, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to our intern who was out there with Caitlin Pratt. That's Jada White. She will also be going back to school soon. This is her senior year at Howard University, my alma mater. Thank you so much for joining us. She has been really instrumental in a lot of the things we're doing here at Fox 5 Atlanta. She's actually been conducting quite a few of our interviews that you see on our website and on Fox Local. So I just wanted to give her a quick shout out since she is also going back to school. But bringing it back into studio, we have our meteorologist, Alex Forbes, back with us. Everybody wants to know what the weather is going to be like today, the rest of the week.
I think you know what I'm going to say.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. That's about it. Hot and humid. Welcome to Georgia in July, right?
Yeah.
Well, so here's the deal. Something that we're watching over the next little while is that the shower and storm activity has already fired up across mainly northwest Georgia right now, but I'm expecting to see more of that here through the afternoon. So let me take you over to Fox 5 Live Viper, and I want to point out Floyd County, Polk County, Cherokee County beginning to look at some showers, even into Hall County right now as we go up into northwest Georgia. Let me see if I can get this to move up there. I want to really drill it down in here towards Rome and Cedartown. That's where you're looking at some of this heavier rain right about now. If you look at the radar, notice it's not as high of a resolution as I'd like or that we're used to. That's because the radar in Peachtree City is actually down right now. This is scheduled maintenance, so nothing wrong with it. That's the piece of good news there. But we are having to use radars basically from Huntsville, Birmingham, down in Middle Georgia, and Greenville, and kind of mesh it all together, and that's how we're getting the North Georgia picture, right? So it is accurate. It's just that we're looking a little higher up in the atmosphere. Now, current temperatures 84 in Atlanta, 82 in Covington, 88 over in Eatonton, 83 in Athens, and 79 in Blairsville. Already feels like 90 here in Atlanta and in Covington. 99, the heat index there in Eatonton, and I've already seen it over that triple-digit mark there in Eatonton, so certainly a warm afternoon down there on the banks of Lake Oconee. Now, through the remainder of the day today, we are going to break into the low 90s. We will have a 40% chance of rain around, but those low 90s are not telling the full story. It is going to be hot. It is going to feel like the low 100s across north and central Georgia. 100 there for the 3 o'clock hour, 102 for 4 and 5 o'clock. That is going to come with a 40% chance of rain today, down to 30% for tomorrow. So if you're looking for a slightly, and I mean slightly drier day, that would still be tomorrow. But look, you have a better chance of staying dry today and tomorrow than you have of getting wet. Now, you have a really good chance of sweating if you're going to be outside, all right? Those peak heat index values flirting with the triple digits each afternoon. And as we work our way towards Monday and Tuesday and those temperatures find their way a little more into the mid-90s, that's going to push those heat index numbers just a little higher, 103, 102 there for Monday and Tuesday. So this is a July 7-day forecast if you ask me. 60% chance of showers and storms there on Tuesday. That's going to be your wettest day, but we're going to have a chance of rain each afternoon between now and the end of next week.
Goodness gracious. Alex, just out of curiosity, what would you rather be, super hot and sweating or having to dodge rain?
Okay, so I would rather be super hot and sweaty because I hate being wet outside.
But
right?
you're going to be wet anyway.
Well, but I would rather be sweaty than like be rained on and then like everything be wet. Like that to me is the problem.
That's true. And I don't know that it is true, but my mom has always told me like when it rains, like you have a better chance of getting sick. That
Yeah,
could have been her way
I've
of
heard
telling
that
me to get
too.
inside.
I don't know the science behind it. I don't know.
I think though I would take getting rained on.
Really?
Even
Getting
with
rained
my
on?
hair,
So
yeah.
wait, would you be okay with being rained on in 80 degrees?
Oh no, it has to be a little cool. Like
See,
a nice-
that's what I'm comparing the two.
Even 60 degrees is too cold. Maybe like a 68 to 75 degree weather with a little bit of rain would be okay with me.
Yeah, I'll take the heat.
All right, well, in other news, we have some pretty cool events happening in the metro Atlanta area. Our Eli Jordan is out in Atlanta right now, working on men's skeet with a world champion, which is pretty amazing to me. Eli, what can you tell us about Tom Lowe's shooting grounds?
Hey, today, yeah, I'm out here in South Fulton at the Tom Lowe Skeet and Trap Range, and right now I am at the Sporting Clay Range, where there's a family here, the Jenkins family, that come all the way from Columbus, Mississippi, not Mississippi, so I lived in Alabama, Columbus, Georgia. We have a Columbus, Mississippi close to us over in Alabama, but Columbus, Georgia, they're here, and they're doing some sporting clay shooting. They're blasting things. Sporting clays, they have some clays that go across the ground and stuff, and I'm here with Peyton Jenkins. She is a 7th grader from Columbus. She's part of the Jenkins family. How you doing, Peyton?
Good.
And so tell me, have you shot a shotgun before? Have you done this before?
No, never.
So what'd you think?
It was fun because I learned how to load it and cock it, and it's a fun experience.
So what'd you think about the kick?
It just hurt for like a little bit, but it was nice.
So how was your accuracy? I have to ask that. Because I'm not very good at it myself.
Me neither. I'm not that good at shooting guns.
So what'd you think when you heard that you're gonna go shooting shotguns today? Target practice.
I was a little nervous because I've never done it before, but it's fun.
And think you'll come back and do it again?
Yes, definitely.
What was your favorite part about it?
Probably being here with family.
It's kind of a bonding experience, team building experience. It's kind of neat. And it's kind of a long drive from Columbus. Do you think it was worth it to come up here to the
Yes,
race?
definitely.
What
It
are
was
you
very
going to tell
fun.
your pals about it? What are you going to tell them about
do you
this
say?
experience?
What?
Your friends?
Oh, I'll say it's really fun and they should try it because it's a fun experience because my friends are on the shotgun team and yeah.
So
they
are
like
you on the
it.
shotgun team?
No.
Okay. So that's cool though. You're the school that actually has a shotgun team, which I found out not too long ago that there are those around here, and that's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. So I guess it makes you a little bit more comfortable and familiar with the operation of firearms, correct?
Yes. Definitely.
That's a plus in itself. That's a life experience to take with you for the rest of the time. Is this your pops right here about to shoot?
Yes.
So.
He's got good aim. Sometimes.
I think you got that one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Peyton, thank you very much. I appreciate you talking to us, and I'll let you get back to blasting things out of the sky.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Judea, there you go. Peyton enjoys it. This is for everybody. You can come down here. You don't have to be perfect at it. I am terrible at it, but I still come down here and check it out. And yes, Luke Desautels, the operator, he runs this place. Super nice guy. He is a 4-time world champion, and his son, who works down here, he's out of town today because he's going up to Indiana to try and win another championship. He's a 6-time world champion.
Ooh.
And so, you got some really good experts here that knows their stuff. If you come out here to the Tom Lowe Range, they got the clinics that are going on today. And, just look up Tom Lowe Range on the Google. They're going to their next station. That's what happens here. You hit one station, and then there's another station up there, and it's just a different pattern of the way the clay pigeons go flying out. And so it keeps you on your toes. And it's just a good, nice little stress reliever to come out here. It's better than target practice. I say it's better than pistol practicing and stuff at the range because you're just shooting at a piece of paper hanging there. That's just poking holes in the paper. This is moving targets. This actually takes skill. Judea?
Eli, the way they're moving from station to station reminds me of golf. And I think actually I saw something about that on their website, that this is kind of like the shooting version of golf. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's how Luke describes it. It's like a shooting version of golf. Instead of taking a club and whacking, you're taking a shotgun and shooting.
And then I thought it was also cool that you had grabbed that 7th grader, which of course makes me think that I need to get a little better at my game, because there's no reason. She's only 13, and she's out there and doing a great job. She's having a lot of fun with her dad, which seemed pretty cool to me. And then the other thing that I picked up on, you mentioned that Luke Desautels' son also runs the shop with him. Thought it was pretty cool that while this is something that he loves, something that he is super into, his son is possibly even a little better than him. He's a chip off the old block.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, if you lost my camera a minute ago, I apologize. I had to change out batteries. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. I mean, Houston, he also teaches. He was out here when I was out here this past summer. He was helping one of the students that is in one of the school teams, and he was out there helping them get get more precise in their aiming and stuff. So it's definitely, I mean, you're in good hands when you got a family that is into it, like Houston and Luke, his dad, and you got them, and Richard here is another guy who helps out with the recruits that come out here and shows them what to do and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it's a good, safe experience. It's cool. You can learn a lot if you're into it, and you don't even have to own your own gun. You can rent out your own gun and eye protection and ear protection and have a good old time blasting things out of the sky.
Yeah, blasting things out the sky. And also a little earlier I mentioned that they say that this is perfect if you are part of like a bachelorette party. Maybe you want to plan your birthday. Maybe you just want to blow off some steam. Or maybe you want to bring your colleagues from the office. Cool team building exercise right there. Probably takes a lot of trust to get out there with them. Well, Eli.
Absolutely, yeah, you can have a unique experience out here.
Yeah, a pretty unique experience indeed. Thank you so much for giving us a taste of what it is like out there. I said Atlanta earlier in the show. I did mean to say South Fulton. That is where that shooting range or facility field is. So now don't go anywhere, because coming up after this break, it might be time to rethink those New Year's resolutions. You may have thought that you were so ready to get going on your goals and you set all of them at the top of the year, and now you're looking at yourself like, dang, I'm not achieving as much as I thought I was going to. And so this might be the perfect time of the year to take a look back at some of those goals you put out and redetermine, reconfigure how you're going to move forward with being your best self. We'll get that when we come back from this break. guys, welcome back into Fox 5 News Now on the Fox Local app. Quick question, moment of honesty. Where are you at in terms of your New Year's resolutions? You know, those things that you set back in January? And I guess maybe a better question is, do you even remember what those resolutions were? Because if you're like me, you're thinking, back in January, you made a couple of health goals, and we're about the middle of the year, 6 months later. Maybe you're realizing that you're not exactly where you want to be, but good thing is the middle of the year is actually a perfect time to reset, account for all the things that you wanted to do, and start over. And we have Dr. Anoop Sharma here. He's the Chief Medical Officer for United Healthcare, Medicare, and Retirement. I think he is a perfect person to talk to us about getting right back on track with your 2025 health goals. Dr. Sharma, welcome to Fox Local.
Thank you for having me.
So I think we all could use a mid-year reset. We're halfway through 2025, but why is now a good time to reevaluate some of the things you set for yourself in January?
So in the beginning of the year, we all set goals for ourselves. And now is a great time while we are able to do this before the holidays hit to see where we are on those goals. And it's a great way to be proactive about your own health and have a great conversation with your healthcare provider, be it a nurse practitioner or your physician.
Okay, good to know. Speaking of the physicians, you may have a doctor's appointment coming up. A lot of us do those checkups once a year. What are some ways that you can set yourself up for success so that is the most productive and the most efficient visit, especially if you're not going to see them again for another year?
So what I tell my patients, when you're coming in for the mid-year check-in, this is your time to ask questions about what you saw, what occurred, and if there's any concerns you have. So I always advise them to write it down, and if their family members are involved, to write it down for them to make sure they get those questions answered in that time.
I think writing it down is a great piece of advice. I think about myself, sometimes I'm thinking about all the things that I want to get done with my doctor, all the things that I want to go over from the year before, and then you get into that office and you forget everything. So yes, write it down was a good one. In researching, I saw that there's also something called a mid-year wellness checklist. What is that and what should go on it?
So on that list is all the things that you were supposed to get done for your age. So depending on your age, if you're due for a colonoscopy, for an eye exam, if you haven't had your dental visit, all those things are really important to get those done. So if those are not done, that's the list that you can use to say, I want to make sure I get those appointments made. If there's referrals needed, you get those too. So that's a great way to make sure you're getting the care you need, and it's all preventative care, and it's important to get it done.
Dr. Sharma, while I have you here, just out of curiosity, there are things that you are supposed to do at around a certain age, but if you have any concerns about something, for example, let's say maybe you felt a lump or something like that in the shower, but you're not at the age where a mammogram is necessary for you. Are those things that you should try to get done during your time in the office too, to take advantage of?
Absolutely. It's your time, and to make sure you're using all of your healthcare benefits that are free to you. So to make sure that you have those conversations, but also have those set up.
Okay. And while we are talking about benefits, I know for myself, a couple of months ago, I was going through my health insurance and found that there are a lot of benefits that I have not been taking advantage of. I didn't even know that they were there. For example, I'm able to get a free gym membership. For some other people, it might just be discounted. What are some other things that you think people look past or look over, don't even know is there?
So for many of our patients, especially in the Medicare world and even in the younger world, there are over-the-counter benefits. So some things like over-the-counter medications like ibuprofen or Tylenol, those are actually covered with a benefit. So it depends on what's available in your benefits themselves. You mentioned the gym membership. It's a great way to utilize ways to stay healthy. So there's multiple different ways that your insurance company actually wants you to be better and healthier. So it's really to optimize your benefit, and it's all free.
Yeah, I mean, it is free. Technically, you're already paying for it with your job. You may as well
Exactly.
opt in for it. And I think mental health is also something that you may find you have discounts for if you look in the right places. So maybe those are some appointments that are worth setting up while you have them. Speaking of medications, because you brought that up just a few minutes ago, For our older citizens out there, just for people streaming with us that may be on a lot of different medications, what's a good way to track them and plan your care appointments before the fall comes specifically?
So you want to make sure either you take your medications in with you or you're writing them down so you know when you're taking them, when you're supposed to take them, and if you're going to run out. It's a great time to get your medications refilled also, but also to make sure you take in all the over-the-counter medications and the herbal agents. So many times people are taking supplements, and if we're not aware that you're doing that, we may not be able to guide you on the interactions that may occur with your regular medications.
I actually didn't even think about the supplements. I'm sure a lot of people don't either. But yeah, I guess all of that does play a role, especially if they're trying to prescribe you with something new to your body, and they should know everything that's going in. So
Absolutely.
noted. Oh, these were all really great practical tips. Clearly, a mid-year wellness reset is not that big of a deal. It is something that you can do. It's not only helpful, but obviously it's essential to staying healthy, productive, and organized. Dr. Sharma, thank you so much for your time with us. I feel like this was really helpful for our audience.
Thank you. And when in doubt, you can always ask your physician for any questions you may have here. And also, you can always go to unitedhealthcare.com for more.
Perfect. All right, thank you so much. For those of you who are streaming out there with us, don't go too far. We will get you a break, and when we come back, we'll have a lot more content ready for you.
Hey, everybody, and we're back at one of my favorite places. I am so excited to be here. We're near Pont City Market. We're standing right in front of the Atlanta Beltline, which is nice and active. By the way, it is very hot and steamy right now, so I can't wait to get inside Illuminarium Experiences. So this is a very cool, state-of-the-art, immersive experience venue, a place the CEO says can take you anywhere, and that's through the use of technology.